Welcome, folks. The SAK show brought to you by MacCoffee Power You Now. Thank you to Bollywood Casino, Wet Lounge, and Azure Hotel. If you love photography, this episode is for you. With me is Mr. Gurcharan Roopra. Welcome on board, brother.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Wildlife photography. That's what it's all about. Mr. Gurcharan Roopra is here. Thank you for your time, brother. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm a big fan of your work.
Thank you very much.
I love it. I follow it on Insta, on Facebook, and I'm always like the first one. I hit that like button. You must be noticing them. Yeah?
Absolutely. Absolutely see them. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
So tell me, how did wildlife photography all start?
The love for photography was the first start. You buy your first SLR, and slowly by slowly you realize that camera can do a lot more than your mind can think. And it's all about what you can think, and step by step, moving then to Kenya.
Yeah.
And
so
Kenya
you're not from Kenya, actually?
I'm born Kenyan. I worked for 10 years in the UK,
okay.
And I've been back 5 years now.
All right.
But I lived all my childhood was all in Kenya.
Okay, and how long ago did you start the photography?
The serious part of it, you can say about 2 years. Okay. Wildlife, 4 years. And before that, I've owned a camera for about 10 years.
So the first camera you owned was which one?
A Nikon D50, the cheapest of the cheapest Nikons,
okay,
yeah. Okay. I still have it. It still works really well. Nikon, I hope you're listening to this, yeah.
So you're one of those guys who's a Nikon fan and not a Canon fan?
I tell you what.
Yeah.
If you've ever had those HP iPac little computer devices, they were out there many days ago. And when I was buying my first camera, I was sitting there and saying, Nikon or Canon, Nikon or Canon.
Just like the Apple and the Android.
It's really, we're down on the same lines. And it got to a stage where, okay, the cost of buying the Nikon is this, the cost of buying the Canon is this plus a CF card, whereas I had some SD cards from the HP. And that was the deciding factor, believe it or not. And once you start getting gear together, trying to move from one to the other,
like
you've got so much investment in it already, and you kind of get stuck with it.
So tell me, why did you pick wildlife photography?
Kenya. I think Kenya is the reason for that. I'm not really a people photography person. My wife always says to somebody when they come to her saying, hey, can Gucci come and take our photos? And she asks, have you got a tail? Because he takes no photos if you don't have a tail. So you need a tail to get photos done from me. So I think the thing with wildlife photography is, first of all, when you're trying to take people's photos, you're trying to always discuss with them, hey, give us a smile, give us this.
It's more of a choreography.
Yeah, and with wildlife,
it's natural.
It's completely natural. You have to sit and wait for the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the hard part about it as well.
So in reality, I think I need to ask Papi Ji if this guy is really a patient person.
She might be able to answer that.
I don't think so. You need a lot of patience for the wildlife photography.
There is one particular day I sat with a family of lions from 8:30 in the morning to 6:30 in the evening.
Wow.
Just waiting for them to wake up or do something to get a photo. And I must say, at about 6:30, when they did start getting active, I got some amazing shots.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's like everything. Patience. Patience really pays.
Wow.
Yeah. You can't expect to go there and say, hey, Mr. Lion, give us a smile, I want to take a photo. Or, hey, Mr. Leopard, climb the tree for me.
I've always wanted to ask wildlife photographers, that I know a couple of more, but they always get the right shot, and it's like, when I'll go in the national park, I'll jump around for like 3-4 hours, but I won't see anything. But then the same day I'll go home and I'll check on Facebook or Instagram, Mr. Roopra has posted a photo and this and that. So is it the timing is so correct with you guys? How is that? I mean, do you have the internal resources with the layman don't have, or what?
Number one is patience, and number two, practice and experience. So I could go there at 3 o'clock, and I know at 3 o'clock my job is to go there and find lion, zebras, leopard, whatever it is you come across. And then you see, the thing with wildlife is, I can't go there with a speed light. I can't go there saying, okay, I'm going to put a background to this. You have to then take those moments or all those sightings and then choose which one you want to go to. For one reason is, all right, I'm going to come back here at about 5:30 when the light has turned golden. He's sitting on a hill, so I can get some nice shots with this. This guy's sitting inside a bush until he doesn't come.
How did you know this guy is sitting inside the bush?
That's the job I'm doing earlier.
Insights which people don't have.
I don't think so. I think, with wildlife, a lot of people come into Nairobi National Park and speed round the park.
Yeah.
It's not helping.
It's not going to help.
30 kph or lower.
Yeah.
Just drive around slowly, look for every movement in the grass, look for other behaviors. Zebras, impalas, they're all going to let you off and tell you that there's something in the bush. They can't tell you, hey, look, lion over here, but they can give off little signals. Little signals, they're looking in one direction. Make sure you spend some time looking in that direction. Giraffes are also a big telltale sign, yeah?
Okay, all right. So you need to, so did you like, so from this I can say like carrot juice is your favorite juice?
Absolutely, absolutely, every Sunday for sure.
So tell me that, did you study photography and did you go through a course or something or what?
Absolutely not.
Self-taught?
Self-taught, reading on the internet, reading what other photographers suggest. There's a load of professional photographers out there who do this as a full-time job.
Okay.
And some of them write blogs on, I'm doing this photograph, or this photograph I had to do this timing, this angle, they'll give you a little bit of should I say like crossword puzzle, and if you can put the puzzle together and it works for your situation, that's the way it is.
And tell me now, do you have an inspiration, someone who you look upon in photography?
There's so many different styles out there, and I don't want to get muddled up with just one style. I go and look at some guys doing black and white. I love Marcel Van Ostron. I love David Lloyd's photography, the creativity in Ross Cooper's photography. These guys, Chad Cocking, you go there and you look at these guys' photography and you sort of say, hey, how long must I have waited for this one shot? And that's inspiration. You say, I'm going to get this shot. Yeah, one day I'm going to try this.
Now, let me tell you, photography is like, some people say it's a very expensive hobby, because you need the right lenses, you need the right camera. There's a lot of, you need extra battery, especially if you're waiting for all those hours. So, I mean, does it pay off?
In respect of what I've seen all big-time photographers do is they're all won awards, but it's not the selling of photos or the awards that are earning the money. It's using that in a respect to guide people on photography training, bringing them or taking them to locations and saying, all right, let's go and do some photo safaris. That's probably what earns more money, so not as a photographer.
Tell me something interesting. I saw that you've actually launched a book.
Correct, yes. I was in UK 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
There was a book launched called Remembering Rhinos.
Wow.
The book is basically to raise fund for rhino conservation.
Okay. It's an international project.
It has 55 professional photographers who have donated an image to it.
And you're one of them.
Then there was a competition for 10 more.
Oh.
And I made it through in that competition.
Wow.
Yeah, the lady who set it up, Margot Raggett, she told us that there was approximately 1,000 to 2,000 entrants for those 10 photos. And I'm really, really pleased to be up there in those top 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, man. So how's the book available?
The book's available on
hard copy or soft copy?
It's hard copy is the way.
Yeah.
The website is rememberingwildlife.com.
Okay.
And you can purchase the book there. It comes from the UK. They got printed in Italy, I believe.
Wow.
So it's quite a massive project. And last year there was a previous book called Remembering Elephants, and exactly the same thing happened.
All right. Yes. Tell me some of your crazy achievements you've done so far.
Mount Kenya has to be the biggest one. That one has to be the biggest one.
Just for one shot.
4 days. 4 days, one shot, pains, knee aches. I've still got blue toes there. I've still got bloodshot toes. More than that, last year I spent 16 nights in Mara, and not there to go and enjoy this hotel and that hotel.
In the bush.
No, in the bush, literally in the bush. The biggest part is, all the guys at the lodge always come to me saying, this is the only person we know who comes here to work. Everyone here comes here to put their feet up, and you're the one who comes here to work. It's just a passion, I'll be out before the crack of dawn because I want to pick up a sunrise shot. Even better if I can get a sunrise with a lion or a sunrise with an animal. Then you come back for breakfast, or we take breakfast most of the time. Lunch will usually come back because the light becomes so harsh. It doesn't really make photographs work. I'm the lazy sort of guy. You could probably experiment and experiment and experiment. Come back for lunch, get some time to relax. download the morning's photos, have a look if everything went well, if you know the settings were good, you got the right photos, and then 3 o'clock I'm out again.
Wow.
Until after sunset. Wow. And then quick dinner, or should I say freshen up, quick dinner, back to the photos, back to the photos, yeah. And then if it's a clear sky, then astro comes into play. So then you're doing time lapses or astrophotography, and I love astrophotography.
Share with us one of your most craziest experience you've ever had as a photographer.
There was one day we were looking for a couple of lions in Nairobi National Park. So we got together with a couple of KWS guys, and we learned that the lions we're looking for are outside the park. So we all decided to get together and let's push these lions back into the park. As we drove out, we looked, and we got information of their location through a GPS collar. We got close enough, but it was such thick bush we couldn't take the car any further in. We were 5 of us, we all decided to park the car, lock it up, and we went on foot. Cameras in hand, one guy with the AK. We tried, and we finally got to a bush which started growling at us. You know, you're at this bush. What we took a step back, and we all sort of, guys, game plan, because now we are lion in front, buck at the back.
You're looking
we're
for
in the
them,
middle.
but they're looking at you.
We're in the middle and they're watching us. So we decided to do a U-turn and move this guy to push him into the park. So we did a nice big long U-turn, and when we got to the opposite side of the U-turn, we were expecting a single male. We found a female with 3 sub-adult cubs, which could have been a risk to us because she would be very fiercely protective. So she ran towards the park, 1, 2, 3 sub-adult cubs behind her, a secondary male that we weren't expecting, and the male that we were expecting. 6 of them versus 5 of us. Yeah, but I'm glad to say, as much as I've known lions,
many experiences.
That was a pulse. That was a good pulse.
So is it risky to do this wildlife photography as such?
If you're not disturbing the animal, it's not a risk at all. You know, you're not. And you know, that's the big thing about wildlife photography. There's a lot of people who do all sorts of different things about it, and most importantly is I'm not there to disturb the animal. I'm there to try and capture it at its best, and I'm hoping that the lion will suddenly realize that I think it's the same guy again. Let me give him a bit of a yawn. He'll take a photo and he'll go away. But we've had a lot of experiences, and some very beautiful experiences, some very, should I say, adrenaline boosting experiences.
Oh, it's fun, man. I mean, the crew and I'm sure one of your next trips will just come in with the cameras.
Absolutely. Well,
we gotta do this now. Last but not least, tell me, Gurcharan, is that what's your take on Photoshop and Lightroom and all that? You know, because it's like filters and presets and all. So you just take a photo and anybody can just put a nice, and the colors pop up, it becomes a HD and all that.
Okay, let me give you my view of it.
Yes,
I started off believing that Photoshop is fake.
Okay.
So I got to a point and I realized that maybe, you're just trying to, we're taking photos in RAW. We're not taking photos in JPEG. In RAW format, the photo will always come out bland. So you have to do a little bit of exposure. If not exposure, maybe a bit of color balance has to be done on it, because it comes out pretty flat. And just by balancing the colors, you start getting your 3D view of an image, a realistic view of an image. What I'm quite against is, all right, here's a lion, here's a rhino, let's put the two together like they're buddies. That's not true. I'm not here to make a situation that never existed, but improving the situation, yes. A lot of times you're taking a photo of a lion and one strand of grass right across his face. You've got such a beautiful photo, eye contact, teeth showing out, but one strand of grass is distracting you from the shot completely. I will put some time in Photoshop and try and remove that one strand. But not where, all right, let's move this lion's face to something else. And
no, that's utterly not allowed at all.
That's not what I'm up to. I'm up to, if you can get the situation, and if you just need to tidy it up, tidy it up.
So the last question to you then, do you really need a really professional DSLR camera to get that shot, or you can just take it on a normal shot and then take it to Lightroom and light it up?
Lens is what I would say.
Okay.
More than the camera body, the lens, what lets the light through is the bigger part of it.
Oh.
Yeah. Trouble with wildlife photography is you need zooms, big zooms.
Yeah.
But saying that, there's no, my current favorite is I've recently acquired a D850.
Okay.
And I'm putting my 24-70 lens, which is a portraiture lens. And I'm using the D850 with the 24-70 lens, and I'm getting amazing stuff. Yeah, putting the camera on the ground, setting it up, something happens, a remote shutter release.
Message to new upcoming photographers:
passion, do it.
Do it.
It doesn't. It won't come overnight, but it'll come. If you put your force behind it, it'll come.
Yeah. And do you start a school or something? Tips, tactics. What if somebody wants to tell you, you know what?
Open.
I want you to
completely
become
open.
my ustad now.
I've got a couple of friends. There's one young lad who lives in Australia.
Yeah.
Every time he comes to Nairobi, we go and we do it.
Okay. So it's easy. Anybody can call you and tell you, Paji, let's do this, and you're
absolutely,
open for that.
absolutely. But you know what I also want to see is some sort of passion from you.
Yeah.
I don't want to come there and put all this effort in, and tomorrow you go and pack your camera and say, this is not for me.
I'm done.
Yeah, I want to see you trying, and if you're struggling with a few, I'll give you a few tips. But I want to see you trying. I don't want to see you sort of, come hold my hand and show me everything to do. Show me how to do this. No, I want you to put the effort in, and then I'll give you a little bit of direction.
Brilliant stuff. Paji, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
I've got a nice gift here. The bag is for Pabiji, but the stuff inside is for you, okay? So
thank you very much. I appreciate it very much.
Enjoy a nice stock of coffee for you, so when you're waiting for that perfect shot, you can sip on it and stay on it.
I'll try and share it with the animals too. Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. We are all over, and it is only in ZindagiTvKe.